Truth of the matter is, your data is scattered. Some in HubSpot, some in Shopify. So without truly having them connected, you're missing out on a world of opportunities to centralize customer activity, gain visibility in customer interactions, leverage e-commerce pipelines for opportunities, generating reports and dashboards, even implementing streamlined automations and workflows with HubSpot's native capabilities. So in this video, we'll discuss this integration between Shopify and HubSpot and walk through how you can do it for yourself. Let's get into it. If we're talking about integration options, there are a few different ways to go about doing this, but I feel like the majority of people are probably going to lean on two ones in particular. The first one is going to be HubSpot. HubSpot has an app in their marketplace that facilitates the integration between Shopify and HubSpot. The other one is going to be through some iPaaS solution. Think of Zapier, N&N, Make, formerly known as Integromat. These sort of solutions are going to essentially present themselves to offer pre-built connectors, integration templates to help streamline the connection between Shopify and HubSpot. They do require some technical know-how to get them working, but these are options that you can leverage. And I guess I say the secret third option is using both. This is an option for those who feel a little limited by Shopify's app in their marketplace. They can use both the Shopify app to get probably like good percentage of what they need from Shopify to HubSpot, that integration piece. And then they can leverage something like Zapier or N&N to facilitate the rest of the integration. Today, our focus is going to focus on the main option that we presented, and that's going to be HubSpot's app that facilitates the native integration between HubSpot and Shopify. So to continue on, we're going to go ahead and go into HubSpot's app for Shopify. As you can see here, you'll just go ahead and select Install App. It's going to walk you through the whole thing. You're going to have to name your subdomain. You're going to go ahead and start sync. It's going to ask you for necessary information. In this case, they're asking for what objects do you want to sync over to Shopify. I'm going to keep it simple and just say I'm going to use the contact object within HubSpot. You'll see some default properties that can get mapped over to Shopify to HubSpot. Things like first name, last name, company name, phone number, things of this nature. What you'll see here that's very interesting is actually this arrow here. This arrow pretty much indicates what type of syncing this is. If it's a one-way sync, it's going to go from Shopify to HubSpot, or vice versa. It can go from HubSpot to Shopify. In this case, sometimes you may want to, in most cases actually, you're going to want to do a bi-directional sync, which means both Shopify and HubSpot are syncing with each other's information to make sure that everything's up to date in both systems. Now, the big caveat with this particular integration is the fact that only a certain number of properties can get synced from one side to the other, or actually from both sides. So that's something to note. So with this particular integration, as you can see here, first and last names can be synced bi-directionally from HubSpot to Shopify, while company name can only be synced between Shopify to HubSpot. That's it. You won't be able to do it the other way, which for some, this could be a problem. And it is the reason why you may look at other options within the marketplace to help fulfill your needs. From there, we're going to go ahead and say, okay, we found the necessary items that we want to map. We're going to select next. Once you click next, you'll be brought to this screen, which is very important. It will be presented with a number of different options to help detect duplicates, filter out records that gets pushed over from Shopify to HubSpot based off properties. You can select edit, and you can kind of select the top properties that need to be matched in order for them to be synced over to HubSpot. Same thing could be done for HubSpot to Shopify, and you can edit a certain properties that needs to be filtered in order for them to actually get synced over from HubSpot to Shopify. Once you edit your criteria and shows your options, select next, then select review. Now you can go ahead and review, make sure everything looks good on your end, all the different filters and things that you felt are good. If everything looks solid as far as from a field mapping perspective and all the settings you've selected look good, you can go ahead and save and sync. From here, you'll be brought to HubSpot's overview of the syncing that is happening right now between Shopify and HubSpot. As you can see here, you'll see that the number of contacts that are in sync, what's failed, and what's been excluded. You can actually diagnose why it's been excluded, or you can see what actually has been synced. It's pretty dynamic in that way, and allows you to see the sync in real time as data gets synced. And luckily for us, I'm actually already in my Shopify instance, so we can actually see in real time what data actually is being pushed over from Shopify to HubSpot and vice versa. And as you can see here, I'm going to refresh the page. And what do you know? I already have 107 customers in my Shopify account, which is pretty cool. But as you can see here, there's going to be some things I'm going to have to do on my end to fix that I'm going to have to clear up. Obviously, when you're actually going about looking at your sync and looking at all the different stuff that goes into it, maybe you want to sync more data, and that's actually a thing you can do. So if you go over here, you select sync more data, and now you have more options to choose. If you remember earlier, I used the contact sync, in this case to sync my objects from HubSpot and to Shopify and vice versa. So I used the object contact first, but now I can go ahead and go find other objects that are connecting and go ahead and sync those too. So you can, if you want to sync more data, you definitely could do that. Just once you hit that page, go ahead and select the type and then walk through the whole step all over again, and you'll be brought to the page, and the whole process starts all over again. And luckily for us, I'm actually already in my Shopify instance, so we can actually see in real time what data actually is being pushed over from Shopify to HubSpot and vice versa. And as you can see here, I'm going to refresh the page. And what do you know? I already have 107 customers in my Shopify account, which is pretty cool. But as you can see here, there's going to be some things I'm going to have to do on my end to fix that I'm going to have to clear up. Obviously, we can't have a store with 0 orders and amount spent. That's not good. And with that concludes our video on the integration between HubSpot and Shopify. Hopefully give you guys an idea of what goes into this integration and how you can set up for yourself. So without further ado, catch you on the next one. Peace.